Dr. Boustany.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, Mr. Secretary.
Good to be here.
The President's 2014 budget requests an 8.4% increase for the Department of Treasury and its programs, and this includes $1 billion in annual increase for the IRS budget. We found information just a few weeks ago about an IRS production studio, Star Trek videos, things of that nature. Now, as the economy continues to sputter, families across America are having to make deep, painful cuts in their own household budgets. And at the same time, we're borrowing a lot of money. We're borrowing $1 for every dollar of spending, 60 cents is borrowed. So with this in mind, are there any other cuts under Treasury that you could put forth other than what's in this? I mean, the budget's proposing increased spending.
Congressman, the bulk of the increases that are in the Treasury budget are really in IRS enforcement. I think that one of the goals this committee has traditionally shared with the Treasury Department is making sure their tax laws are effectively enforced and that we have a fair system where all taxpayers are treated alike, and there's an understanding that if you don't obey the tax laws...
Well, I fully understand that, but at the same time, we're concerned about, on one hand, the IRS comes to us and wants more resources, and yet we see obvious waste on the other hand.
Congressman, I'm aware of the situation you're describing. I think we have made clear that action has been taken to make sure that that doesn't happen again. There across government is a need to, I agree with you, tighten our belt and not do things that don't look like they make sense. I spent a lot of time when I was at OMB and as Chief of Staff doing that across the government. I will continue to do that as Secretary of the Treasury. But I don't think that it's right to confuse that with the need to have IRS agents on the job. And that's what where most of our budget is.
I understand the need for enforcement, but I guess my question is: are there other areas within Treasury that you could come forward with some proposals for cuts? I mean, obviously there are some. I mean, what about this production studio? I think it costs $4 million a year. It's been. Are there others? We're obviously taking a look at that particular item, but I would point out that one of the things that we do to try to control costs in the government is do more business remotely and not have people travel when they don't need to. One of the ways you do business remotely is through video activities. So we have to be careful that we don't cut off the ability to do the kind of work that gives us the ability to operate more efficiently. I'm happy to take a look at that along with other things, but I don't think you'd want to have every meeting have to be in person in a city. If somebody can sit in a studio and talk to 500 people. I understand that, but we're going to continue to conduct oversight to make sure that these dollars are being used appropriately.
Appreciate that.